You cannot forgive yourself or forgive those around you who have hurt you, life will become very hard because you grow this resentment, you grow this anger. And this doesn't just start feeding on the. Hey guys, and welcome back to Kay's Corner Podcast, episode 8. I'm so excited to say episode 8. But, anyways, it's an exciting episode because I have yet another guest. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Olivia and I am one of Kaylee's longtime coworkers. Super fun, super funky fresh.
Yeah, we have been, if I've been with them for probably almost 4 years.
Yeah, I just hit my 3-year mark with them this past July.
Okay.
So yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, so Olivia and I started off as front desk workers at a gym. And oh my gosh, when I first got this job, I wasn't even 21 yet. I know that much. How old were you when you first started the job?
I just turned 21, like
Oh, you did?
fresh 21.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I miss that crowd. They'll probably
That was
understand what
fun.
crowd it is.
Yeah, that was
But
fun.
those were like the good years back in like
The good old
2023.
days.
Yeah, so that is the whole point of this episode, is talking about self growth and just growth with the people around you. Some people are around you for a lot of the time. Some people are meant to be in your life for the rest of your life. So that's what today we are going to be talking about. And you guys may be confused, like what made you bring Olivia on the podcast?
A lot of people probably are confused.
Yeah, probably. I like to keep my guests kind of hidden until they actually come on, just because I think it's more exciting that way. I think it's important to be a mystery in life.
Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, you got to keep people on their toes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, in my last episode, I said you can't open up the window and the screen. You got to keep the screen for a filter.
Period, girl.
So, Olivia and I have came a very long way.
Yeah.
Give your perspective on how we know each other. Let's start with you.
All right. So when I first met Kaylee, she was one of the first front desk people that I met when I got hired at this gym. And I remember when I first met her, her energy was like extremely captivating. I was like, oh my God, like I want to be friends with her. Like she's awesome. I genuinely was like, you're so freaking cool. But then we just got off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened or what was said. We kept butting heads. I think because me and you both have such big personalities that it was like, this town ain't big enough for the two of us kind of thing. But we were both so young and so naive.
Right.
And I think we both had really big egos at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that has to do with like the self-love and the self-growth of everything and how far we've come and how we've now have a good friendship going.
Right.
So it's just a fabulous journey that her and I've been on.
Tell them, truly, like first meeting me, you said that you know, I had this high energy, you want to be my friend. At any point did you look at me like, oh, never mind?
I'm sure we both kind of did. Like I said, we either got off on the wrong foot or something. Like I said, both probably had egos. We just had a lot of growing up to do. And there were a couple of points where I was like, oh my God, like I have to work a shift with Kaylee. Like I'm so scared. Like I don't want there to be any drama. Like, oh my God, like it would get my anxiety going.
Yeah.
But like, and I've opened up to you about my anxiety in the past before. So yeah, I've had a couple of those days, but you know, it happens.
And that's why I want to be so for real, because that's the point of this podcast. You know, I never want to come on here and kind of beat around the bush.
No.
Genuinely talking about self growth, I've been able to kind of sit back and take a look on not only myself, but maybe bridges I've burnt or maybe people's feelings that I've hurt, and not to dwell on it and to make myself feel bad and like I'm this bad guy, but to literally grow from it
and forgive yourself for it. You know, like that's all about life.
Right. If you cannot forgive yourself or forgive those around you who have hurt you, life will become very hard because you grow this resentment, you grow this anger. And this doesn't just start feeding on the inside of you, it starts pouring out onto other people. And I had a lot of cut wounds. And not to excuse my behavior or the way I acted, but, you know, having some cut wounds and not taking the time out to kind of heal and forgive yourself, that blood and that cut pours onto other people that don't deserve that. So I do feel like, not to be hard on myself or to play like I'm
No,
this,
but how are you going to forgive and like love one another if you can't forgive yourself in the first place?
right,
That's the first step of self love,
right.
Forgive
Yeah.
yourself and love yourself for what happens.
Yeah. So I appreciate you saying that too.
Yeah, of
But that's
course.
why me and Olivia are here today, because after all of that time and of like working together, you get to know people on a different level. You get to see them grow. You get to see them transform. And I think that's the coolest part. And I did. I used to be a little like pit bull. I still have a little spice to me, don't get me wrong, but I used to be like a stiff pit bull. I was just
You were always
like,
on edge. It was kind of like waiting to come out. Now it's like people got to like get it out of you, you
yeah,
know?
right. And that's what you never want someone in your life that will poke you to that point
No.
of something that you kind of tied down and forgave yourself for, you know. And that's why self growth is so important, because you are always going to be put into trials and tribulations. You're going to meet people that kind of push you on edge. But I think that's so important, especially as us being women, is to know how to navigate through the
Yes.
struggle and
Yes.
keep that strength.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, we're here today. It's not the point of this episode is to dwell on the past, but
No.
definitely, me and Olivia, like we said, I wasn't even 21 when I got the job. Olivia just turned 21. We were kind of in our free for all mindset.
Yeah, just turned 21, kind of like,
Right,
woo, party time.
exactly. And sometimes, guys, we're so distracted by the outside world, we don't realize on how we can be considerate of other people and their feelings. I might have been going through something, but maybe Olivia was going through something too. So we can't all just think that we're the only people going through something. You got to spread that kindness. And I think it's dope that you got to see me grow,
Oh
because
yeah. Oh my God.
I don't know when you started even feeling comfortable with me again, or not like, oh, like I'm intimidated by Kaylee.
I
When is
honest
that? Can you like let me know?
I'm trying to think because
Was it
I got
recently?
no, it was not recently.
Okay.
It was like, oh, I'm trying to think. I honestly I feel like it was when you like right before you came to Farmingville. So it was when you were
Okay.
finishing up your time as manager a little bit
Okay.
and you switched over and now you're doing,
Right.
you're coming to Farmingville and it was like right around that time, like right before. I
Okay.
remember I felt like your guard kind of go down a little bit and you were just kind of like you had this like not attitude to you, but you were just kind of more calm and relaxed and go with the flow. You were like, that's when you started, I think it was when you started like going to church, I think,
Okay.
and you were like, I'm gonna let whatever happen, and you just kind of let go of control. And I was like, I love
Nice.
seeing that happen to you. I was like, this is perfect. This is what you need.
You were probably the first, if anything, I get told that I'm very on edge or uptight. And genuinely, okay, a part of me that will never change. I've been like this ever since a kid.
I
It's
think
just
it's
part
because you're a big sister too. Like you
a
have so
big
many
sister, but I
responsibilities.
can be sensitive. So
Yeah.
when someone says like I'm uptight, like yes, people don't know the background of the story of like being that motherly figure. So growing up and having to be a motherly figure, like grew that like tension in me. I felt always obligated to like be in charge or be in control. So I think it's pretty cool that you kind of opened your mind to that, because I don't think anyone's ever told me or said that they've seen me grow in that aspect of
Oh, I
kind of
1000%
being
have.
more
Yeah.
with the flow type of thing.
Yeah. You just, like you said, like you kind of just let go and was just like, whatever happens, happens. Like
Yeah.
you put your trust into, something else, into something bigger that you can now relax and like have faith. And I'm like,
Amen.
period. And I respect it so much.
Thank
Yeah, of
you.
course, of
I think
course.
I realized that when I went to go get my first massage, and he said, "Ooh, so tense." And he was in my upper back for a good like 20
She
minutes.
says she's sitting here like,
Yeah, and I was like, wow, am I that like this man's telling me my back is like really tense. I'm like, I must be an uptight person, because that will do it to you. You start walking around like a solid rock, and it's
mm-hmm.
hard for people to want to be comfortable around something like that. And I'll use a good analogy that actually, Russ, if you ever see this, I love you.
Shout out Ross.
But in his book, in one of the chapters, he talks about like a dog, right?
Mm.
If a dog's like looks firm and scary looking, you're not gonna really want to pet that dog.
No, yeah.
Rather than a dog that's rolling around, playing stupid, and you'd be like, oh, look at that
He's a friendly,
dog.
goofy guy. Yeah, like
Right.
you want to go up to that.
No one wants to pet the mean, tense dog. I'm sorry. So I didn't ever I saw that about myself, and I don't want to be that person.
No, yeah.
I wanna be the flowy type that's down to do whatever and anything. So, thank you for seeing that
Of
part of
course. Oh
me.
my God, no, of course. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Well, now for you,
Hmm.
let's talk about your self growth. Like we said before, you started as a front desk worker. Where are you in life now?
So now I'm currently a personal trainer and a competitive bodybuilder. Took a very, very long journey to get there for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
Kaylee saw a portion of it, but the bigger portion of it happened back pre-pandemic, right around that time. Just no self-love, very, very low confidence, low self-respect, and I had no idea what I wanted out of life. And putting someone like that with little to no self-respect or self-love into a
right.
world where there's so many people who could take advantage of it,
Mm,
and it's just so easy to get hurt, and it's so easy to just go down the wrong paths. But then you eventually, like, through self-love and confidence and learning who you are and who you want to be with and what you love in life, it gets you right back on track. You will always find your way right where you need to be.
when do you think that you found or felt that confidence in yourself? Like, you know what? I know I'm ready for this, or you know what? I feel good in my own skin, or I feel confident in this job. Like, when did you start feeling that?
So the first time I think I felt it for sure was, let me see, probably like 2021ish. I just turned 20. And that was the first time I felt it in probably 2 years, where I was like, wow, like I'm
Wow.
beautiful. And it was
Oh,
it was right around my 20th birthday. I got out of a toxic relationship, two toxic relationships I've been in the past. And after that, I looked at myself and I just looked back on photos of me even back then, the first time I felt the confidence come back. I just started working out. I looked at my body. I got bullied a lot as a child for being skinny, which is crazy.
by family or by friends?
Friends. We'll put that in air quotes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the first time when I looked at myself in a photo and I was like, I am beautiful. Like any guy, any person would be lucky to have me in their life. Friend, boyfriend, whoever it may be.
Yes. Yeah. I think once you hit that point in your life where you just know your value, you know what you're worthy of, you know what you're capable of, you know what your dreams are, you know what you want your future to look like,
Mm-hmm.
life becomes so much easier because it's like you have this clear vision of
Exactly.
exactly who you are, what you need and want in life.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's easier to navigate through people, things, jobs,
Situations.
yeah,
Yeah, everything. I think like once it started coming more consistently in my life, because at first I felt it for the first time, I was like, wow, that was a great feeling. Like, oh my God, like, okay, I'm working out a lot. I'm being consistent with that. I'm focusing on myself in school, whatever it may be. And then it just, came more and more in waves. And I found that love and passion through working out through the gym and
right,
loving my body, because I struggled a lot with, just like I said, I was bullied about my body. So I struggled a lot with looking in the mirror and loving what God gave me.
yeah,
But now through working out and bodybuilding and everything and putting myself in such a environment that I thrive in, it truly like transforms your mindset, surrounding yourself with the right people who
right,
also love themselves and are in the same mindset as you.
right. I think it's so important who is around you.
Oh, 1000%.
I'd rather have one to none people around me rather than to be surrounded by a ton of people that may even be preying on my downfall, that don't want to actually see me win. And I even have friends who deal with people like that just feel like just
Black
never
holes
happy. Yeah.
almost,
They're not
like
even happy for
draining.
them, or the
No.
backhanded compliments, certain things like that. You can just, and that's why it's so important to know yourself, because you can see through people like that. You can feel energy almost like this. Like, you know
Yeah.
what? I pray for you, but you're not somebody that I want
It
close to
doesn't
me.
align with what you believe in and
Right.
what you value. People like that, it's,
Right.
oh my God, couldn't agree more.
And I have spoken in my other podcast about that, like I said, having the window open with the screen open.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody deserves to be around you when you're winning.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody deserves to see you when you're down at your lowest point.
No, oh my God, no.
We don't even like to see ourselves in the time when it's so vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it's like when we allow people, friends, family members, or even significant others to get so close and to know such personal things, you really want to make sure that you know what their intentions are.
And what their values, and make sure you know them on such a deep level, because you're letting them
Right,
into such a like vulnerable part of you
right,
that other people could have burned and stepped on in the past. So bringing in someone new, to show them that vulnerable side of you, of all the things that you built that you love about yourself, and
Right.
to show them all of those things that you've grown on your own.
Right.
It's scary, but it's like you got to make sure that you trust that person. You
Yeah.
have to make sure that that is someone that you 1000% see yourself
Right.
trusting, either not even throughout life, but just in general, like with those things that you're telling them. It could be at a surface level, you got to trust them, but the deeper and deeper you get, you got to make sure that this is someone you value in your life.
Right. Listen, any man that comes into my life, sooner or later, I'm gonna have to share my credit score. But I'm
We get
kidding.
there. We get there.
Right. But as deep as that, it does continue to get more deep and deep. And that's why it's so important to not be confused about yourself, confused about the thoughts or your career path or anything in your life. You have to be so secure and so confident and so self-aware of your own actions, your own thoughts, your own wants and needs. Because if you're confused about all of that and your inner, it's so hard to see through people.
And
You
then you let
know,
in the wrong people because you
yes,
don't know what you want. So then you're trying to figure that out.
right,
But then you're letting in all these people who, because you
right,
don't know what you want, you're looking for the people who don't know what they want. And it's just a whole mess
right.
when they come in, and just inviting that kind of chaos in
Yeah.
because your mind is chaotic because you don't know where to start with yourself.
And I'm telling you now, this is exactly why I journal. Because I am literally only human and I literally only have a brain. Nothing more than that.
Me, I got a couple brain cells.
We can't store everything in there. So that's why I journal. And I think that's been such a great asset towards my self growth.
Oh, for sure. I think you got to let it all out. I go to therapy because
Yeah,
I got a lot going on in here.
100%. And that's why, I always used to tell myself, I don't have time. I don't have time. At least have time to write down a thought or two. I mean, I have a whiteboard, Olivia. You're in my
I'm
room. You
looking
can
at it.
see it. I have a whiteboard. I have a whiteboard calendar. I have
Your
tons of
agenda,
journals, agendas.
mm-hmm,
All my
your
coworkers
planners.
see like my planner at work. I love to write things down because once you overload your plate, you're not over like that's just a saying. You're not just overloading your plate, you're overloading
It's
your
your brain.
mind. And I'm very close with God, so you have to protect your mind. And there's a million things, negative, positive, great, bad. It's too
You got
much.
to weed it out. You got to weed it out and find what what is valuable to you, and you got to
Right,
grab it and you got to keep it close because that's
right.
hard to find.
And you even saying that me being on edge, that's another thing that being on edge does to you. You start micromanaging everything. You try to like figure everything out like in one sitting. And it's just the truth of one thing at a time, my mom used to always say.
Mm-hmm.
One thing at a time.
Can't bite off more than you can chew.
Hey, I
Mm-hmm.
like that one. So out of all of your time of growing
Yeah.
to get to know yourself and growing to know what you want and need in your life and your career path and your relationship and with yourself and with your boyfriend, where are you most or what are you most thankful of during that process?
Honestly, looking back, what I'm most thankful on is the fact that I was able to get myself out of it. Like the main problem, we'll put it, or my main cause of it, my anxiety and everything that came with it, was being in toxic relationships, having a bad relationship with my dad, and having all of those things come together as one big storm cloud in my head that was just constantly hanging over me. So the biggest thing is just I can thank myself for just getting out of it. Like that takes such incredible strength, and that's where the self-love starts,
Yeah,
because you need to pull yourself out of those toxic situations, whether it's with family, friends, significant others. You need to draw a hard boundary. This, I don't like how this is making me feel. I've been feeling this way for X amount of time, which is too much time.
right.
Like, okay, draw the boundary, get yourself out, because at the end of the day, you're stuck with yourself for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
You got to make sure that you're protecting yourself and you're
right.
loving yourself at the end of the day. So getting myself out of those situations, drawing those hard boundaries with the people, that I am the most thankful for, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be anywhere close to where I am today at all.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you more so leaned on yourself during that or do you think that you had a good support system through this time? Because
Honestly,
that really matters during a healing process. And I'll continue, but to answer the question,
I was leaning mostly, I did have, close friends and family who I'd open up to. But obviously, everyone had such different opinions, I'll call it, and thoughts about my life. And at the end of the day, it's my life. I could do what I want with it. So
Right.
I was leaning a lot on myself. Do I like
Okay.
how this is making me feel? Do I want to keep going down this path? Is this something that is good for me in the future? So I would run through those points in my head, and then I would use my friends and my family like, hey, this is just a thought I had just about, X, Y, and Z. What do you think? I'd get some of their feedback just so I could get an outside opinion, maybe something I haven't thought of yet. And I would use that as a tool rather than something that I would rely on too much.
Okay.
They helped me through breakups. Of course, I leaned on my friends and family during a breakup. However, post that and after I kind of got over it, I started leaning more on myself because that's where the groundwork starts.
Right.
You got to focus on that.
And there's only so much, like, I'm always that friend that will be an open ear,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but there's only so much that you can vent to humankind. And I'm not saying to not vent to people, but then you get too comfortable with venting to other people. You kind of distract yourself from having that conversation with yourself. For me, having that
Exactly.
conversation with God, not just myself, but having that conversation with God, being so for real in that moment, because there's people come and go. So some of those people aren't going to be there all the time, and you're not going to have those people to lean back on. And when you don't, I just feel like in my heart,
It's yourself at the end of the day that you got to
then
lean
you're
on.
restarting again,
Yeah,
because you thought you healed because you had all these people around. Then you get to a point where you're stripped and isolated alone, and now you don't know what to do again.
exactly. That's why it's important to have yourself at the end of the day to
Right.
lean on. It's your thoughts at the end of the day you're falling asleep with. You got to make sure those are healthy thoughts that you got in your brain telling you all the positive things you want to hear because no one else is going to say it if you don't know it.
Right. And not everyone's going to be real with you. Sometimes you get a couple of people that are going to, some people would think it's aggressive, or, whatever the case is with that, but you won't get certain stern people in your life that will give you words of wisdom, advice that you will actually follow through with for the rest of your life, and then share that to other people and your children and your future husband or your future wife. So it's like when you get somebody who can sit down with you and be stern with you, and be so for real with you.
Give
I
you the
think,
tough love.
yeah, I think that I have friends like that where a couple of years ago, I'm like, shut up. Like, you're supposed to be like,
You're supposed to be telling me what
tell
I
me what I
want
want
to
to hear.
hear,
Exactly.
but they're the friends that tell you what you need to hear. But that's a good
Yeah.
friend too at the end of the day telling you that stuff.
Yeah. So I think it's so important, no matter how old you are. This is advice for everybody. But especially as you get older, I think it matters, like we said before, who is in your circle.
Oh yeah.
Who's there for you when you're most down? Who's there for you celebrating all of your wins? Who's there for you, even when you're not doing the right thing?
And there's going to be different people throughout your whole life who are going to be that person for you.
Yeah.
It's could either be one person for the rest of your life. It could be four people. It could be 100 people. Like I have my best friend now, and I had a different best friend when I was a child.
Right.
But
Yeah.
now I got my bestie, and her and I locked in for lifers.
Yeah.
But I didn't meet her until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But
There's a
now
time and a place for everything and everyone.
exactly. I think it's once you heal and once you kind of like let that self love kind of,
Yeah.
radiate out, it starts to bring in those people who match the energy,
Right.
who also are kind of in the same walks of life as you.
Yeah.
And it brings them in and you kind of just have each other now. They all come in at the right time. I
They
met my
do.
boyfriend at the right time. I got my best friend at the right time.
Yeah.
Everything. We started talking at the right time.
Yeah. And it's so great, especially with Olivia on here sharing her story of self-love and self growth, is that having that hardcore, for me, is morals really, but
Yeah.
before anything, foundation of, I'm kind of losing train of thought just because this is such a great topic of just making sure that you're so knowledgeable of how to survive through life and to be so aware of wanting certain people or certain things in your life.
Yeah.
And where was I going with this? I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of us, for
I'm proud
real.
of we're crushing it.
Like, I just think it's so important to have people in your life that are where you want to be, and to see yourself grow, and to look back on videos or look back on memories or times like this, and to be proud of yourself. And the more that you put into yourself and the more proud that you are of yourself,
The more it's going to come out of it.
the more that's going to come out of it. And that's where I was going with it, is once you find that confidence in yourself, just the way Olivia did, just the way I did,
All the pieces fall into place.
all the you it's like you don't even realize it. You almost have to take a step back and be like, whoa. Sometimes I'll catch myself complaining and then I have to be like, honestly,
You're
why?
lucky you are where you are to complain
Literally.
about it.
Or to be able to see that transformation
Yup.
of growth.
Like I'm complaining right now about, oh, I have to worry about going back to school. I get to go back to school.
Right.
And that's from just healing. Like I finally get to, see all of my hard work pay
Yeah.
off now in finally knowing this is my dream.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I want. I have a great boyfriend. I have all my friends. I have a good support system. And now the pieces are just falling into place again.
Yeah.
I'm right back on track, right where I started.
Yeah, I love that for you. I think it's so important to even have testimonies like this, to meet people, to have conversations with people who genuinely care about improvement.
It shows that it's possible too.
Yeah.
Because if you told us, I don't know, 2-3 years ago that we would be here in Kaylee's room chit chatting, having a little girl time,
Never that.
oh my God, I would be like, what crack are you smoking?
Yeah. Like you don't know who you're dealing with at that time.
At that time, yes.
But now that we can sit here and literally look back, like we can laugh about that.
Oh my God, yeah.
We can laugh about all the things that, that have happened. But the only time that you can even laugh about that is if you can see yourself growing.
Exactly, because we healed from it.
And
we
that
grew
person
from
growing.
it. We're like, can
Right.
you believe we did this shit? Like,
because imagine if I was still the same on edge kind of person or uptight kind of person.
Kaylee, you would have had a stroke by now. You would have had a heart attack.
I think so. But also, I feel like today, if I was that same person, I'd be miserable even seeing someone thrive. And it's disgusting to even admit that. But when you're so down bad with yourself, like you're not happy with yourself, you won't be as happy for other people. As much as you try to convince yourself that, like, you just won't.
It is so common too to see it in women. Like you see another woman succeeding, you're like, oh God, like you're jealous. But
I've
look
heard
at us,
it.
like
Yes.
like we're rooting for each other now. There's
Yeah.
no jealousy, there's no spitefulness, and I feel like girls lose sight of that the
Yeah.
second they see someone who's happy with themselves.
Yeah. And Olivia had said earlier when she started to see that changes in me is when I started to go to church, and I think that's the whole purpose. And I even went to church today, and the sermon was literally that, is encouraging people. Encourage. And the pastor literally told me today, and I was so excited to use this today, knowing that we were talking about self-love and self-growth, is that the crab bucket syndrome.
Okay. I'm listening.
Stay with me, guys.
I'm hungry, but I'm thinking of crabs.
I was shocked because, you know what, I never looked at it this way, but the crab bucket syndrome. All right, I love to go crabbing. So you catch the crabs, you throw them in a bucket, right? The first crab that you catch is already trying to crawl out, right? And he has some type of luck, And I'll tell you why he has some type of luck. Because once you keep continuing to put in the crabs in the bucket, now there's 20 crabs in the bucket. And that one crab that was trying to escape from the jump is now getting pulled down by all these 20 other crabs. Okay? Now the first crab's chances of escaping is very low.
Yeah.
And I loved hearing that because it's the truth. In today's society, woman to woman or woman to man, a lot of women degrade and talk down about men, and men do the same thing about women, men to men, woman to woman. It's literally just the society.
It's so disgusting.
Of just pulling everybody down, pulling one each other down, instead of pushing each other up, encouraging each other. Instead of gatekeeping how to thrive in life. That's the whole point of my podcast. I want to know how you did it.
Yeah.
I know how I did it, but I want to know how you did it.
Everyone's got a different story.
And then I want us to share how we did it with the world so that you guys can do it. And that's the whole point of my podcast. And a lot of people ask, well, what's the point of your podcast? And it's like a million things spew out of my mouth, but that's the core, is so that we can help each other plant seeds of growing into positive people, growing into people who are successful,
making the world just a
motivated.
little bit of a brighter place.
Yeah, brighter place, to see that the grass is greener on the other side. But it literally starts with you. Sometimes we tend to be our own blockage in life. and you're sitting there with your back against the wall asking why you aren't there, why you don't have this, why this person doesn't want to stick into your life. And it's just like, you know what? Take a moment to be like, how can I do this? How can I be better? Not why, you know?
Yeah.
So it is so dope to see you continue with your journey. I'm excited to just continue. And you have a show coming up.
I do have a bodybuilding show coming up.
A bodybuilding show. Dude, I honestly am so motivated to try to do it, but guys, like watching Olivia eat like the bare minimum. Like I love food. Some of you guys would beg to differ. Like I never finish my plate of food, but I still love food.
You're a foodie though. You're a foodie at heart. It doesn't matter if you didn't finish the plate. You still
Right.
have it in front of you.
I want to try it.
Yeah.
Like, so, are you excited for your show?
Oh, girl, I cannot wait. I love it so much. The process of getting on stage is unlike anything other. And this is also self-love, kind of goes back to it. I get to challenge myself now.
Yeah.
Like I'm in such a good
And
place.
this is your second show, right?
This is my second season. So third show, second season. I did 2 shows last year. Yeah, I did
Okay, that's right. So you did 3 shows, and this is your second season. And from the first show up until now, on a scale 1 to 10, how much has your confidence grown? Especially stepping on a stage.
It's grown a lot in so many different aspects, and in other aspects, you know, I still struggle with like internal thoughts about like how my body looks, especially because people are literally going to be judging it. So in different aspects it grows, in different aspects, you know, it takes a little bit of a hit, but that's normal. We're human. It happens at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're human, don't forget.
Emphasis on that. So anyway, it's definitely grown a lot this second season. Now I know what to anticipate. I have a really good coach who I'm obsessed with. Like I literally brag about her all the time. She is my idol. And having just a good support system at the end of the day too.
Yeah.
I get to go on stage and know, one, I brought my absolute best package possible.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I get to go celebrate it at the end of the day with my friends. And it's just about beating who I was last year. It's not about getting on, like, of course I would love to win, but I just want to look better and I want to do better than what I did last year and who I was last year. Right. And I feel like, you know, every day it's a step closer to succeeding now.
Yeah. I think that's so amazing that you can have that outlook on yourself, on your journey, you know, the people around you. You definitely have passion in everything that you do, passion in the people around you. So, you know,
that's my biggest thing, trying to find passion in life. Do what you love at the end of the day, because then you'll never feel like you're working.
Right now, if you don't have any ambition, motivation, or passion to do something, life is going to be very boring.
Find what you love and make it your passion.
Yeah.
That's what's got me through this far. I found that I love the gym. I became a personal trainer, and I'm going back to school for nutrition and exercise science.
Yeah. And another thing Russ said, I love you, Russ. Russ literally said in one of his podcasts that he had, I want a 6-pack, but I don't want it that bad. You know, he wanted his music career. He wanted it that bad. When I saw myself kind of drifting from podcasting, not like drifting from it, but I didn't see myself being as consistent posting my shorts or on TikTok or on YouTube. You know, I realized in that moment, wait a second, like this is something I actually really want to do. Like this is something that I actually want to continue with. And
you love it.
I love it. I'm passionate about it. So every single day, whether it's me writing down a couple of podcasting topics or reaching out to a couple people that I would love to have on my podcast, you know, just doing something every day, something little. It could be for 5-10 minutes, just putting an effort towards it. If you want it that bad,
and if you love it and you love yourself,
you will do it. Just do it.
Nike, just do it.
Yeah, they should promote this. I'm kidding. But yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what you did. Even I'm sure it was nerve-wracking the first time wanting to even compete in a show.
Oh my god, yeah, terrifying. All those girls backstage,
backstage, stepping on a stage, lights on you,
the judges,
the posing, the judges, like there's so much pressure.
It's terrifying.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I was convinced, but
it's fun. See, I used to dance and perform, so for me the stage is like a second home almost.
Okay.
So it's fun. It's terrifying, but my motto whenever I get in a situation like that, even to get me through certain things in life, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. You got to keep going. You know, you can't.
It can be rough some days, but that's the day you fake it.
Yes. And another one of these episodes in the future will be about fear. Okay. Fear stops you from so much.
Yeah.
And it does
Yeah.
stem back to confidence, because if you had that confidence, you wouldn't be fearful, you know? So, confidence and self love, and that's the whole point of this conversation, because it took me confidence and self love to be able to want to even grow a relationship with somebody that where we didn't really align at first.
Yeah.
And it's okay for you to not align with somebody, because if it's meant to be, it will.
It'll happen at the right time.
Yeah. And that goes for anything, not just a friendship, not just a relationship, even with Olivia's bodybuilding, me with my podcasting. Things take time. So everything's a working process.
Exactly. Let it take time. Good things come to those who wait. Pressure builds diamonds.
I like that. I've never even heard of that one actually, but I
Really?
feel like it sounds like it's a common thing.
Yeah.
Who told you like all these old sayings growing up? Mine were like teachers and my grandparents.
Honestly, I'm hearing it now more in my adult life because I feel like all of us as
Oh,
adults, like, we're all going through so much.
yeah.
Like, we're just now trying to figure out and navigate. I just turned 24. You're about to turn 24.
Yeah,
Like, we're fresh adults.
I
So
know.
now I'm hearing all of these things and I'm like, these are the little quotes that you see like when you walk into like your grandma's house on like a calendar and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, grandma, these are so corny. But it's like, no, no,
Yeah.
these are darling. These help me get through my day.
Yep.
Like, that's how I feel. I'm like, I need a quote every day.
Or the quote that's been in her living room for the past 50 years and
Yeah,
we just
hanging up on a
never
wooden
saw it.
sign.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think self growth, self love, the people around you, your work environment,
Yeah.
everything matters once you're old enough to
And it's
realize.
also what you choose to let in. Like you
Yes.
said at the beginning,
Yeah.
I can let things at work or things that happen outside of whatever bother me and get to me, but it's like, no.
Yeah. 100%. That was the core problem. I mean, even me getting a flat tire, forget about it. Good thing that I'm on the side of the road and absolutely nobody can hear me. That's how I'd be. But at the end of the day, you have to pick your battles with what happens in your life, who happens in your life,
What you can and can't control.
yeah, we are only human. And that's the problem with the society. We think that we have control over everything. We think it's the end of the world with everything, and we can continue on with this conversation for hours on end. But the key thing is to be confident with yourself, know what you want in life, have dreams. If you don't have dreams, like,
Find your passion and love it.
yeah, I feel like you can't even find your passion without having dreams. You gotta
Mhm.
love something. As a kid, I've always wanted to be in the medical field. I don't want to be in the medical field anymore.
I'm too
But
squeamish.
yeah, like I always would watch Criminal Minds or Law and Order, and I always wanted to be in law or some type of law.
Yeah.
And here I am today at my age going to college for law. You know, you can have a ton of different dreams, but once you start recognizing what you love in life, it'll be more realistic of what dreams you are
Yeah,
capable of actually committing to and accomplishing.
exactly. Start with the baby steps.
Yeah. So, what's your one biggest piece of advice to this world or anybody who gets to watch this?
My biggest piece of advice to you guys is, like I said, find your passion and just go with it and love yourself at the end of the day. Do what you love. If there's something in your life that you're not loving, get yourself out of it immediately. This is your sign. Whatever it is you're thinking about, you're like, I don't really like that. Yeah, stop it. Girl, knock it
Yeah.
off. I'm watching you. Stop it. God.
We're both watching. Mike Wazowski.
I'm
We're
watching
watching
you.
you.
Always watching.
Oh my gosh, that's actually scary. I hope that makes every single one of you guys laugh.
But
Because
we're
that was a
watching
great
you.
impression. But we are watching you guys.
Get out of that toxic situation. Get out of that, whatever it is, your school,
Yeah.
your job, or whatever it is you do not find joy in. It could be the
Yeah.
wrong major. It could be the wrong
And I want to say
person.
that too. Like, stop thinking that everything is about a relationship or about a friendship.
Yeah.
Your value and your worth is so much more than just a person or literally even just money. Like, find things to do. Find what you love. Like, go and expand your brain. Like, it's not just about friendships or relationships. Even though a great friendship came from this, you know, I feel like that's another problem with society, or even a problem that I had. Like, not everything is about a friendship or a relationship.
It doesn't have to be such a big deal at the end of the day.
Yeah, you know, take it easy.
Yeah. Just love yourself and do what you love. And if something isn't making you love it and it makes you hate yourself or you just
Then
find
be
no
so for
passion,
real with yourself.
yeah. Be so for real.
Do
Take a look in
not
the mirror.
Do not sit in a pile of crap.
Perfect. Yes.
We're not babies. We're not infants.
We're not wearing diapers.
You know, you make a mess, clean it up, get
Get
back
out.
up, and go get back at it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just even playing softball. You get hit in the shin. The first time I got hit in the shin with the softball, I literally wanted to strangle the pitcher. I'm like, she did that on purpose. Like,
I saw it in her eyes.
you know me when I'm younger. I'm
No,
like,
yeah.
I'm furious. Like, this girl just hit me with the softball on my shin. Like, I think it was broken. The ump's like,
Don't play in the
walk.
mud. Get up out of it.
Yeah, the ump said walk. My teammates are, screaming at me, go walk to first base. And that's the thing. Always have people encouraging you in the back. And even if there's no one encouraging you in the back, wipe your knees off, get up, and go.
You got yourself. The only person that's going to get yourself up at the end of the day is you.
Right. So you got to get up and get at it. You don't have dreams, start sitting down with yourself. Stop scrolling on TikTok. Stop feeling like you're obligated to go out with your friends. Be so for real with yourself. Sit with yourself, be for real with yourself, and find out what you love and like in this life.
Exactly.
What you want, what you need.
Period.
And everybody root on Olivia for her upcoming show.
Wish me luck.
I know you're so excited to eat just as much as you can.
I have lists. I have multiple lists.
And an espresso martini.
Oh, girl.
Which I'll gladly go out with you.
No, I want
for
a
one.
sugar. Oh, hell yeah. Me and you afterwards. But I will say right after the show, I do want a sugary drink that will give me a hangover.
Yeah, you did say that.
Nice painful headache.
Yeah, shout out to Applebee's. If you guys want something real sugary, I think stuff there are like $5 sugary buckets. So
girl, I'm going to hibachi afterwards. I'm getting myself a
the
nice
Scorpio bowl.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but that sounds good.
But yeah, so I do want to wish you luck, and I want
Thank
everybody else to wish you luck. So everybody comment down below. I'm also going to leave Olivia's for her Instagram.
Oh,
so if you guys all want to personally go wish her
good luck.
good luck.
I'd appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Definitely do that and give her a follow and support Olivia on her journey too through this life. And just I wish you the best personally. I know I'll see you a ton of more times.
I'll see your work.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
This is so much fun. I
think it was definitely cool to look back after 3 years of just knowing each other and to just see our growth within each other.
It was needed. We both deserve to look back and have a good laugh over it.
And I think that sometimes people just drift through life and don't even recognize the things that go on or the people that stay around and stick around, and you're definitely an inspiration. I'm glad that we can sit here and have a conversation now.
My inspiration. I'm so
and not bicker about if you can cover my shift or not.
Oh my God. I'm so happy those days are over.
Yeah, so thank you for coming on.
Oh my God, thank you for having me.
Kay's Corner Podcast. Guys, I'm so excited to post this episode 8. Self-love, self-growth. Have people who encourage you. Encourage yourself always.
Do what you love.
Yeah.
And love will come to you.
Yeah. Always love yourself. Because it's the truth. I've heard this since a little girl. If you can't love yourself, you can't love others. So we're going to leave this episode loving you, loving each other, and loving ourselves. Period. So much love. And until next time.